They say the hands of a person reveal their destiny. Some hands are soft from wealth, others are calloused from the soil. But in the heart of Lagos, there was a maid named Kaira who lived a secret that no one could guess. For 3 years, she scrubbed the floors of the richest woman in the city, but not once, not even to eat or sleep, did she ever take off her long red silk gloves. They called her a freak. They called her a village girl with thawed skin. But when the gloves finally came off at the royal gala, the richest men in Africa didn't laugh. They fell to their knees, because Kaira wasn't just a maid. She was the one they had been searching for. In the glittering skyline of Lagos, Damini Towers stood as a monument to excess. At the top sat Lady Damini, a woman who measured her worth by the number of people she could look down upon. Her penthouse was a palace of cold marble and high-tech sensors, and at the center of this world was Kaira. Kaira was a shadow walker. She moved through the rooms with a silence that was unsettling. Her efficiency was legendary, but her mystery was what fueled the gossip in the servant quarters. Kaira wore elbow-length silk gloves of a deep, faded crimson. She walked in them, she cleaned in them, and she even bathed the ladies' lapdogs in them. Kaira, Lady Damini's voice cracked like a whip across the living room. "You are using those filthy rags on your hands to touch my white leather sofa again. I have told you 1,000 times, this is a house of class, not a village shrine. Why do you insist on hiding your hands? Is it leprosy? Or are you just trying to look like a lady you will never be?" Kaira bowed her head, her gloved hands folded neatly. "Forgive me, madame. It is a vow I must keep. The work is done, and the sofa is spotless." Lady Damini sneered. To her, Kaira was just a local girl from a nameless village, a girl who probably didn't know the difference between a fork and a finger bowl. She didn't realize that Kaira's silence was a choice, a strategic shield against the world that had tried to steal her soul. Lady Damini's daughters, Lulu and Zena, were the architects of Kaira's emotional death. They were the city girls who lived for the validation of the internet, filming every moment of their lives for their millions of followers. To them, Kaira was not a person. She was a prop for their rich girl content. Lulu would often drop her diamond earrings into the vents just to watch Kaira kneel and fish them out with her gloved hands. "Look at her," Lulu would mock, her phone camera pointed at Kaira's back. "The maid who thinks she's a mystery. Hey, Kaira, show the camera your hands. Let's see if they're as ugly as your village accent." Zena was worse. One afternoon, while Kaira was polishing the floor, Zena intentionally spilled a bottle of expensive red wine. "Oh, Kaira, you missed the spot. Scrub it, and don't use a brush. Use your real hands. I want to see if your skin is as raw as the dirt you came from." Kaira knelt, her crimson gloves soaking up the wine, her face a mask of calm. She remembered the proverb her grandmother taught her: "Okirikiri kana ba ukwose, anahiaria elu." The pepper shrub is not climbed but circled. One must approach a dicey situation with caution. She knew that their arrogance was a cage, and she was simply waiting for the door to open. The atmosphere in Lagos changed when the royal search was announced. King Akoni and Prince Kayode of the Golden Plains had arrived. The Golden Plains was a kingdom of ancient wealth where the altar to the hand of the Ikobo was the center of their faith. In their culture, the hand was the locus of reasoning and personal effort. The king was searching for his daughter, Princess Zora. Years ago, Zora had fled the kingdom. She refused to be a pawn in a political marriage to a man she did not love. She had disappeared into the anonymity of the city, taking nothing but a pair of red silk gloves to hide the mark of her lineage, the signet of the sun. This mark was a patch of skin on the palm that looked like burnished bronze, a symbol of kingship and the god Ogun. It was said that the bronze hand reflected the personal effort needed to prosper in the world, a metal that neither rusts nor decays. Lady Damini was desperate to catch the prince's eye for her daughters. Lulu, Zena, you must be perfect. We have been invited to the royal gala at the Ikobo palace. We will show the king that the Damini family is the only one worthy of a royal alliance. She turned to Kaira. You will come to the gala, but you will stay in the service elevator with the spare gowns. If I see your red-gloved hands near the prince, I will throw you out of this penthouse and into the gutter where you belong. The gala was a sea of new folktale luxury. Every socialite in Lagos was there, but the prince, Coyote, was a man of depth. He watched the daughters of the wealthy with a wary eye, looking for the mature ego feather that never fades. Disaster struck when Zena, in a feat of excitement to reach the prince, tripped over her own heavy train and spilled a dark zobo drink all over her white silk gown. Kaira, get here now, she screamed, her voice echoing through the hallway near the VIP entrance. Kaira hurried forward to clean the mess. As she knelt, the prince stepped out of the ballroom, seeking a moment of quiet. He saw a maid kneeling, her red silk gloves stained with drink, being cursed by a woman in diamonds. You clumsy village girl, Zena shouted, her face contorted with rage. I am tired of these gloves. They are probably hiding the filth of your ancestors. In a final act of humiliation, Zena grabbed the end of Kaira's glove and ripped it with all her strength. The red silk tore away. The room fell into a silence so heavy you could hear the heartbeat of the city. Kaira's hand was exposed. It was smooth, dark, and in the center of her palm was the signet of the sun hammock of burnished bronze that caught the light of the chandeliers and glowed with a faint, steady heat. The prince froze. He knew the legends of the Ikobo. He knew that this mark signified a person whose success was the result of both destiny and personal ability. Princess Zora, he whispered. Kaira stood up. The local maid was gone. In her place stood a woman whose back was as straight as a spear. She looked at Lady Damini, who was gasping for air. She looked at Lulu and Zena, whose arrogance had been replaced by a paralyzing terror. I wore the gloves to hide my status from those who would use it, Kaira said, her voice clear and resonant. But in your kitchen, I learned that wealth is just a cloak. Ugocharacha, Adihi Echu, able mature ego feather, will always remain pure no matter how much mud is thrown at it. King Akoni entered the hallway, alerted by the commotion. When he saw his daughter, he didn't command her. He wept. Zora, my child, I have spent years realizing that a princess is not property to be sold, but a blessing to be cherished. The status inversion was complete. The prince took Kaira's hand, the hand that had scrubbed floors and kissed the bronze signet. You were too local for them because they do not understand that the most local thing of all is the earth, and from the earth comes the gold of our capital. The Daminis were ruined. The king cancelled all trade contracts with Lady Damini's firms, and the sisters were castled by the public that once adored their fake lives. They became the lizards who lay on the ground, but now the world knows they have a runny stomach. Kaira returned to the Golden Plains not as a pawn, but as a leader who knew the weight of a broom and the power of a scepter. She kept the torn red silk glove on her wall, that justice may be delayed, but like the bronze of the Ikobo, it never decays. The moral, true beauty and royalty are not found in the clothes one wears, but in the hands that serve and the heart that remains pure under pressure. The talking drum rests here. If you enjoyed this folktale, kindly like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so that you can be informed when next we publish a new story. Don't forget to tell us in the comment section what you've learned and where you are watching from. Your voice matters here.